This week, Alex Tanguay has the Avalanche rolling. The NHLPA presents Be a Player, brought to you by EA Sports NHL 2004. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Welcome to Be a Player. I'm Brett Lindros, coming to you this week from the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. Denver is the smallest city in the U.S. to claim home to 4 professional sports franchises. There's the NBA's Denver Nuggets, Major League Baseball's Colorado Rockies, the NFL's Denver Broncos, and of course, the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche are an extremely talented offensive club with players like Peter Forsberg, Joe Sakic, Milan Hajduk, and the subject of this week's profile, Alex Tanguay. Among a team full of stars, the Quebec native is doing his best to stand out. Alex is having a terrific season and is looking to finish among the league leaders. Here's part 1 of our Be a Player profile with Alex Tanguay. Alex, first of all, I want to thank you for sitting down with us. And I want to ask you, when you were a young boy growing up in Quebec, who's your favorite player?
I was a big Joe Sakic fan, to tell you the truth. You know, growing up in Quebec City, I guess, you know, at that time they didn't really have much on the team, and Joey was such an outstanding player that, you know, I was a big fan of him growing up.
You had a great junior career in Halifax. What was that experience like?
That's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, I got fortunate enough to get drafted by Halifax, which was an English team, so for a French kid it was nice. You know, I've loved every moment there, and it was a great city. I had great coaching staff, and it was a lot of fun for me.
Your first training camp, the Avalanche had paired you up with Joe Sakic as your roommate. What was that experience like, living and playing with Joe Sakic at the time?
It's something that you do here. You know, when the younger guys come in, they always get them with a veteran, and for me, you know, they put me in a room with Joe Sakic, so I couldn't be much more nervous and much more happy, you know, at the same time. You know, I wasn't touching the remote, I wasn't getting close to the TV or anything like that. You know, Joey could do whatever he wanted, but it was nice, you know, and seeing those guys in practice. I mean, not only Joey, but you look at around the room, there was Patrick Waugh, Peter Forsberg, Adam Foote, you know, guys like that. It was just something that it was a lot of fun for me as a kid to watch and to see.
Your rookie season, you're actually living in Patrick Waugh's basement. How did that come about?
Well, I was 19, and the team was kind of looking for me to put me in a billet family. After a week, you know, Pierre and Patty came up to me and they said, "Hey, you know, I think it'd be good if you, if you want to live with us, you're more than welcome, and you can live in our basement if you'd like." And I was like, wow. I was a little nervous about the whole thing, but once I got over there, they made me feel right at home, and it was, you know, for me, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Behind the goal, Sakic trying to walk in front, he does. Battaglia shoots, he scores! His first NHL goal for Alex Tanguay.
What went right for you your rookie season?
Coming in, I think, you know, you've probably experienced it. You don't really know what to expect, and I was the same way coming in. You know, I was just wanting to fit in with the guys and enjoy myself and make sure I would stay up here in the NHL. That was a goal of mine to play here. And I just tried to work hard and enjoyed myself as much as possible.
The rookie walked in. Oh, he scores! What a goal by Tanguay! And John, I'm telling you.
Let's talk about the 2000 playoffs. What was your first playoff experience like in the NHL?
Well, it was fun. You know, I didn't know what to expect, and I had played pretty much all year with Joe and Milan, so it was fun for me.
His first goal in the postseason.
But I realized that the thing went up one notch in the playoffs, and you know, starting the second round, we played Detroit, and I started, you know, playing on the bench a little bit, if I can say the expression, and I realized that I wasn't quite ready for that. It was a little frustrating because as a kid, you know, you always want to be good, and you always want to be helping your team in those moments, and I couldn't really help. You know, I wasn't ready for it, so it made me work extra harder for that next summer afterwards.
Your sophomore season, obviously some guys go the other way after a strong rookie campaign, but you went the opposite direction. You had a great year. What do you attribute your success in your second year to?
Well, I think I was a little mad about what happened the year before in the playoff, and that made me work extra hard over the summertime. And I think I was just ready for it, and I was hungry. I wanted to be a big part of the team and be playing, and I think that was the main focus at the time, and turned out good for all of us.
Look at that. Is that great or what?
It's now time for Be a Player Trivia. To play, send your answer to NHLPA.com/beaplayer. All correct answers will be entered in a random draw with a chance to win an NHL 2004 game courtesy of EA Sports. All other correct responses will be entered for a chance to win an autographed NHLPA jersey. For complete contest rules, visit NHLPA.com and click on Be a Player. Which goaltender has the best career winning percentage in NHL history? Coming up, something's brewing with Alex Tanguay.
I gotta say this is the best beer I've had in a while.
Aside from their pro sports teams, Denver is also known for brewing great beer. The Coors Brewery, located just outside of Denver, is one of the largest breweries in the entire USA. Here, they take brewing beer as seriously as Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, I know Alex Tanguay has tasted success on the ice. I thought it'd be fun to take him for a tour and see how he handled tasting success off the ice. Here's part 2 of our Be a Player profile with Alex Tanguay. This is unbelievable, isn't this great? Alex, we're here at the Coors Brewery. We're gonna go on a little tour with our man Bob. Hey Bob, I'm Brett.
Brett,
Good to meet you.
nice
Bob,
to meet you.
Alex.
Alex,
Nice to meet you.
welcome to the Coors Brewery.
Thank you.
Ready to have a good time?
We are.
Let's go do
Lead
it.
the way.
Perfect.
Alex, Brett, this is a very exciting part of this tour. You are now entering the world's largest single-site brew house. We brew more beer at this one location than any other brewer does at one single location. We do 1.5 million gallons of beer a day.
I was just gonna ask you, 1.5 million gallons.
Yes, you'll find 50 brew kettles located in here.
Wow.
The beautiful ones are, we have the copper kettles. These are partially handcrafted and came over from Germany.
What's the temperature like on average, depending on the beers, or?
Actually, it will be brought up to boiling. Our sterile fill process, we use the cold filtration sterile fill process of making beer here in Golden. That means we don't heat pasteurize our beer. So what's going to happen is that we're going to have our malted mash there, and then what we'll do after we've boiled it and cooked it, we're going to filter the solid ingredients out of there so that all you're left with is a liquid. Okay, now that we have our sterilized wort, it's very hot, we have to start lowering the temperature. And we do that with a whirlpool and then a wort cooler, which works a lot like your radiator in your vehicle. We're going to lower the temperature down to a point where our proprietary yeast can start eating on the sugars that we formed in the brew house, and we put it into our 42,000 gallon fermenting tanks where the yeast will start eating on the sugars to form your alcohol and carbonation. After we're finished here, most of the yeast will settle out, and then we're going to transfer this is beer, we're going to transfer it over to our aging tanks.
It's amazing the size and scope of these huge brew kettles. It's unbelievable. I guess about 15,000 gallons in here. It's all empty right now. I think it's at, well, it could be at Alex's house, but I think it's at mine. But it's amazing how much beer is actually done on site here at Coors.
Well, what we're going to do now, Brett and Alex, we're going to go downstairs and actually enjoy some beer right off the filters.
That sounds like a good plan.
These are some of our mash filters.
What exactly are the mash filters like?
The mash filters is when we want to remove the solids from the beer we're making. So the solids will drop out and we're going to be left with a liquid called malt extract. And so it's a malt extract that will go on to become the beer.
Bob, what are we looking at here?
Right here, Alex, we're looking at our cold filtering process. These are Enzinger filters that actually do the cold filtering of our beer. What will happen is that the pads in here will have a positive charge and the yeast would have a negative charge, and so all you're going to get is ice cold, crisp, cold Coors beer. You're enjoying a beer off the pigtail.
Oh, thank you, Bob.
Enjoy, bottoms up. What did you say in Quebec?
Santé. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
That's French
not bad. Now your friends were here and they said this is the best taste.
I know.
You were a
all
little
my
nervous.
friends were here, and I gotta say this is the best beer I've had in a while.
Be a Player gives you a chance to ask your favorite NHL player a question. For your chance to participate, visit NHLPA.com. Wayne Mahaffey of Port Hope asked Todd Bertuzzi, during your workouts, what is the most important exercise that you do? Here's Todd with his reply.
Hi Wayne, thanks for your question. For me, it's just cardio. I think when you're a player of my weight, you got to make sure that you keep it down, and it's a lot of cardio, a lot of running, and a lot of biking. That's pretty well what keeps me fit.
Time now for Cyber Strader, brought to you by EA Sports 2004. This week, it's the animated plays of Alex Tanguay. Coming up, Hurricane Staal.
You kind of pinch yourself once in a while, you know, I played in the NHL at 19 and stuff like that. It's pretty neat.
Time now for the Be a Player umusic.ca hit zone, featuring Closure and Look Out Below from their self-titled album, Closure.
I'm here at the Denver Firefighters Museum that was built back in 1909. It pays tribute to the courageous men and women who put their lives on the line every single day to fight fire. One man on fire these days is the Carolina Hurricanes' Eric Staal. The Ontario native is having a great season and is proving why he was the second overall pick in the 2003 NHL Draft. Here's Eric Staal on Next Generation.
I'd say my first memories were probably just, you know, being on the outdoor rink, growing up back in Thunder Bay, with my younger brothers and my cousins, just going out there, you know, having fun and just playing the game.
Staal will get the puck in the corner. Kanowski out in front. On the back end, back to Staal. He waits, he scores! Eric Staal!
My 3 years in Peterborough were, you know, something really special to me. I mean, that organization's unbelievable, and, you know, just the playoff atmosphere in that arena with, you know, the history and the amount of players that have been through that arena and played for that team and wore those colors would be, you know, my greatest memory.
The Carolina Hurricanes would like to select from the Peterborough Petes, the Canadian Hockey League, Eric Staal.
Oh, the draft day was something, you know, really special to any young hockey player. I mean, just being there with, you know, everyone in the hockey world there and in that same building is pretty neat. And you know, when your name's called, words really can't describe you know, how you're feeling. But it was definitely something special for sure. I had a pretty good preseason. You know, I was playing quite a bit and playing with some good players, and right off the hop, they threw me in there and gave me a good chance, and I'm really excited about it and just keep trying to get better. You kind of pinch yourself once in a while. You know, I played in the NHL at 19 and stuff like that. It's pretty neat, but I mean, I knew I was feeling more comfortable and more confident as the games and practices went on, and I wanted to prove to myself that I could stay and play with the team.
As Staal breaks up the ice now, and he scores! Eric Staal with a...
I would describe myself as an offensive centerman who's not hazardous in his defensive zone. I mean, I like to be the guy out there with a minute left trying to, defend off a one-goal lead, and I just take pride in both ends of the rink. For the rest of the year, I'm just going to work as hard as I can, and, given the opportunities that I get, just take full advantage, and, hopefully I can get a few points and a few goals and, just help this team out.
Be a Player Trivia is brought to you by EA Sports NHL 2004. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Which goaltender of all time has the best winning percentage? And let me tell you, his winning percentage is over .750.
There's a minimum of games?
He played tons of games.
Okay, tons of games.
Got one top.
Over 750?
The best winning percentage career. And let me tell you, his winning percentage is over .750.
How many games he played? Full career?
Oh yeah, full career. Best career winning percentage in NHL history. I'm looking for the man.
Grand Fjord.
No.
Patrick
Not
Roy.
Grand Fjord.
Dryden?
Well, that's sort of my first guess too.
What was that?
Ken Dryden? Is it him?
Oh yeah!
He's a heavy duty management guy.
Ken Dryden?
Very good. 3-1.
Why am I sitting here?
Next, more from Alex Tanguay.
I just wanted to help this team as much as possible, so that's what I prepare myself for.
Be a Player, sponsored by EA Sports NHL 2004. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
I'm here at Coors Field, home to Major League Baseball's Colorado Rockies. The Rockies have one of the most exciting players in baseball, Larry Walker. The BC native has been consistently among the league's best and still excites fans every time he steps up to the plate. While Alex Tanguay was only 10 when Larry began his Major League career, he's established himself as a player to watch. Here's more with Alex Tanguay on our Be a Player profile.
Great speed at Tanguay in the clear. Oh, he scored! What a move by Tanguay. He put the heat. He scores! Tanguay!
After coming so close during the 2000 playoffs, did the team have a different approach heading into the 2001 playoffs?
I think the team had a different attitude. Before the first game of the playoff, we all knew Ray Bourque came over for that reason, and we pretty much knew it was going to be his last year, and that was the mission. That's what we all wanted to get done.
Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals back in 2001. You scored 2 goals. First of all, tell me about those goals and what those meant for you as a player.
I wanted to play in the playoffs, and I wanted to be one of the guys that the team was relying upon. And the first one was just kind of goal where you go in behind the net and the puck just kind of follows you. I think Rafalski shot it off the board and went off of me and kind of went around the net and just tried to lift it over his shoulder, and it went in. And I guess from then I don't remember too much until I got to the bench.
Center, that's a good play for second. Here it comes. Stop, rebound, score. Hang it again. 2-0. What an effort by Tanguay. That's 2 big efforts he's made in this hockey game.
Talk about the countdown. What was it like to be part of that?
We were up 3-0 with like 10 minutes left in the second period, and the last 30 minutes of the game were actually the longest 30 minutes any of us have ever probably experienced in their whole life. And then once we got to about a minute, you guys probably saw like guys starting, like Ray Bourque starting to suffocate on the bench. He was just overexcited, and it was a great feeling.
What was the mindset of the team heading into a brand new season after just winning the Stanley Cup?
I don't know. I think maybe we're just hungover from the whole thing, you know, of the Stanley Cup. You know, what happens sometimes, I guess, to some teams. But we didn't want that happening. We want to have the same feeling. You're such on a high the year before that you want to keep it rolling, and I think that's what we were trying to do. But we weren't playing as good as we wanted, and we wanted to fix things. And obviously, losing one of your best players, it's always a big aspect of the game. But you know, we weren't playing good, and we were trying to find solutions, and I think it didn't come to us for a while there.
Let's go back to last season. You had 25-plus goals. You're definitely back on track. What was going right for you last year?
Well, I think I went through a year and a half where I was in a big slump, and I didn't know how to get out of it. And I was getting frustrated, and things weren't going my way. And last year when Tony took over, I started having fun, and obviously playing with Peter and Milan doesn't hurt at all. So it went good after that.
Some people have doubted David Abisher as being a #1 goalie. What are your thoughts?
There was some doubt. Everybody had some doubt. There's no question about that. But David handled it, you know, very well, and he knew the expectations were going to be high, and he played great since the start of the year. And you know, we're going to knock on wood that it keeps on playing like that, because it's going to be a big boost for the team.
Just wide. Hayduk in front. Tanguay shoots. He scores. Tanguay.
You've been playing great. What's been going right for you?
I think I just, you know, coming into the season with the new guys that were coming here, we all knew working out this summer that this was going to be a big year for us. And it got all of us excited, and I think I was excited as much as anybody, because I just wanted to help this team as much as possible. So that's what I prepare myself for.
Keeping with our beer theme, I thought I'd better drop by the Rock Bottom Brewery. The Rock Bottom is a tradition in itself here in Denver. Famous for handcrafted beer, the Rock Bottom produces more than 40,000 barrels each year. Now that's a lot of drinking. I'd like to thank Alex Tanguay for joining us this week, and the Coors Brewery for showing us a great tour. I'm Brett Lindros. Cheers, and thanks for watching.
Brett Lindros' clothing supplied by The Coop, Clothing for Men, Toronto. NHLPA.com is your source for the latest stats, scores, and NHL player information. Click on Be a Player for the latest show information, or to send us your questions and comments. You'll find it all at NHLPA.com.
That is perfect. This is a perfectly chilled beer. My buddies at home would love these.